And when we finish the initial discussions on whether there's any controversy at all about the efforts of the Electoral Commission through its drafted CI. Currently, I'm told that they are getting stakeholder engagement to put into that CI about the sole use of the Ghana card for voter registration onwardly. We would also have Professor John Gachi, who is the Dean of the University of Cape Coast Business Schools, to help us look at all this dynamics about Ghana's bailout with the IMF and how we're going around saying that we need some debt forgiveness from China, but more so looking at how we're likely also to default on some, well, facilities we've taken from China, particularly the Sino-Hydro facility, so to speak, or deal. As we do that, we decided also, as part of our efforts with Star Ghana on mission to go around sections of the country. And this time, for many years, students at the Salaga Islamic Junior High School in the East Gonja municipality of the Savannah region have been learning in death traps. Now, the building has seen extensive cracks, and a huge tree on the property is currently threatening the student safety. Komladom reports that beside the difficulty in the classroom, the neighborhood invaders damaged the students' restroom. Here's the report.
Many of the girls were in class when we visited the Salaga Islamic Junior High School in Salaga. They, like their male counterparts, have defied everything to study in a structure head teacher Yusuf Hakim describes as a death trap.
As you can see, the building is almost about collapsing. That hindered a lot of teaching and learning. With the structure of the school, you can see how dilapidated it is. Almost about falling. The roofs, almost all the classes are leaking.
No amount of repairs and patch-ups appear to be dealing with the cracks, and there are fears if something drastic is not done, a disaster is imminent.
Currently, just because of the nature of the school, almost all students have been taken off to the school, and it has become the least populated JHS currently in the municipality. Average in the past, we used to have not less than 600 students because it is 2 streams, 6 classroom blocks. But currently, we have less than 200 students. If the government can come to our aid to build a new structure for us so that teaching and learning can go on very well for us.
On the premises, school authorities are in a fierce battle with community folks over a toilet facility. Staff Secretary Al-Hassan Jibril Mumuni does not understand why residents would break into the toilet.
We have closed it a time back, but then the people from the community do have access to it. At times when we close it, they jump and then enter and defecate anyhow. Now, ever since its construction, I must say it has never seen any sort of renovation. Because of that, the roofing is off. So mostly students find it difficult accessing it to ease themselves.
And the young girls are left disadvantaged.
The girls, as it were, using it in the state that it is, poses hygienic issues for them. At times you even insist that they use it, but they will tell you that the way it is, they prefer going to the bushes. Them going to the bush affects their studies because at times they will go, something that they will use a few minutes to do, they will go because they are not in the sight of the teachers, they will go and keep long there whilst lessons are ongoing. Those with the menstrual issues, we designated a madam in the school. When it so happens like this, the madam guides them using one of our unused facility, decent classroom, for them to take care of themselves. And that one too, I would say it is not the ideal situation.
According to UNICEF, only 49% of countries have achieved gender parity in primary education. At the secondary level, the gap widens. 42% of countries have achieved gender parity in lower secondary education and 24% in upper secondary education. The reasons are many. Barriers to girls' education like poverty, child marriage and gender-based violence vary among countries and communities. In some places like Salaga Islamic Junior High School, facilities do not meet the safety, hygiene or sanitation needs of girls.
Our toilet is not good, so we need new toilets. Secondly, our school's building is not good. Whenever it's rain, the rain always beats us.
Those who have braved it to remain here hope things change and get better.
We need our toilet and school should be constructed as new for us so that we'll be able to attract new students, and also the teaching and learning will go on for us.
While they hang on to hope, they pray they do not one day wake up to their death in these structures. Komla Adom, TV3 News, Salaga.
So these are the difficulties that the junior high school students of Salaga face. Well, so we have Hussein Isa right here. He's also a former member of parliament for Kankwe North. Thank you for joining us. When were your primaries? NDC, they have a timetable for, when is the MPP timetable for the primaries? I believe you would want to go again. Good morning to you, sir. Sorry, I had to meet you there. I hope everything is fine. How was your weekend?
Good morning. Good morning, Roland. Yeah. Good morning to Honorable Mutala.
That's right.
And good morning to your viewers.
Okay.
Good morning to the good people of Okankwe North as well.
Okankwe North.
I'm not sure which of the questions you wanted me to.
No, I was only saying good morning. The first question will be posed to him.
Right.
It's in Salaga, and it's closer to Salaga.
If you asked about our primaries, we're still doing consultation because our constitution actually stipulates when we should, especially when we are in power. Okay. And we are still within the time frame that our constitution stipulates. So I mean, after the needed or the consultations has been completed by the National Executive Committee, then I'm sure the rest of us will know when exactly the party will be going on for the primaries for both the parliamentary.
What has your constitution says? The one you are in power. I want to be informed.
I don't know. Every time you're hyper.
Please, 12 months
raise your voice. It looks like you went to a funeral yesterday, so you're cool.
It should be 12 months before general elections. That's what we are within.
So
within
when are you having?
There's a constitutional.
I'm saying that there are some consultations happening now. So when it's done, we will do what we have to do. You know, we are the new patriotic party. We have never shied away from it. And we are the most formidable party in this country. So
what do you mean?
It is with structures and all of that. Better than any other party.
You sacked your national chairman at your Congress.
So
you want us to talk about
the students at the Salaga Islamic Junior High School have, in the East Gonja municipality, of course it's in the Savannah region, but you look at the story, the cracks, etc. In that building, they need help. What do you make of it?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to my brother. I've realized that his belly is expanding these days.
For a small framed man.
Yes, the belly. You see,
he's a very.
There was a book.
Thin-boned man.
Ichanga and Inoma.
Okay.
I don't know. Many of these Samanol kids may not even appreciate the Ichanga and Inoma and.
The literature.
Yes, one was fat, one was slimmer, and I think that the Inoma was the slimmer and the Ichanga was. So he is what? The moment that he is becoming an Inoma.
Inoma.
Yes, he's becoming an Ichanga. And good morning to the good people of Tamale Central. It is not about whether I live closer to Salaga.
Did you pick nomination forms?
No, inshallah I did.
Are you going unopposed?
Why are people so interested?
I'm
answering his question. I mean, people have.
But you started with Changa and Numa.
Let's answer that. Then we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that. But let me finish with what is even more important.
Okay.
I think that it is not about whether I stay closer to the place or not. I think it is heartbreaking to see that I attended Sato School, I attended Kulukulu School in Tamale, and I remember that.
You attended what?
Kulukulu School. Kulukulu. Myself and my senior brother, Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Kuli, yes.
Okay, so Haruna Idrisu also attended Kulukulu School.
The Granite.
Okay, it's in Tamale.
Yes.
Okay. The Granite snack.
Wakaso attended Kulukulu School recently.
Wakaso?
Yes.
The footballer?
Yeah, he has done some renovation in the school. Okay. And currently, I'm having an AstroTurf in the school. I think that the school has indeed gotten a lot.
At least it will serve also the community.
Exactly.
That's a good
and we remember those days you would experience some of the things, and I'm talking about the 80s. One would expect that this age and time we wouldn't experience some of these things, you know. I do know that some of the schools in our cities and towns, students don't have furniture, and I do know that MPs, one way or the other, you assist, you know. The provision of furniture and others into schools are not the core responsibilities of members of parliament, but we do that because when the state is incapable, unfortunately, as we're experiencing today, to provide those basic facilities that would aid teaching and learning, MPs do come in. And that is why I've always said that when you say education is free, it is not just about making it free for people to attend, but ensuring that the conditions that will occasion effective, efficient teaching and learning prevails. If those conditions are not existing, you wouldn't have the purpose for which education was intended anyway. So it is not just about going through that. And I think that the Minister for Education, if he's watching, this is what he should focus on rather than, you know, spending all his time campaigning and lobbying to be a running mate to Dr. Bome, because that's one thing I've seen that is happening. These are issues he should focus on, because Salaga is not a village. Salaga is a very big town, if you know Salaga very well. And per the information we get in this in Salaga Township, Salaga has is a municipal, you know, assembly, the municipal education directorate is there and others. But you see, you can't blame them. You can't blame them because it is the responsibility of the state to provide those facilities. Look, recently I got Qatar Charity to assist in providing a clinic. Very big, yes.
As an MP?
As an MP, a very big clinic.
The Qatar Charity?
Qatar Charity, yes. They provided a very
Which is a charity of the government?
No,
of Qatar
Charity is an Islamic NGO who assists in many forms. I mean, and their assistance are not only limited to Muslim communities. They have provided boreholes, hospitals, clinics and others across the country. So I got them, they provided this clinic. Now, my expectation was that once the clinic is provided, what they do is that they provide a structure. But as to the equipping of the place is the responsibility of the health directorate. So when they finish, and they were supposed to commission, I met the Metropolitan Health Director, and they were involved, to be very honest, in all the processes, the structure, even the place we're going to site it, I involved them. But they didn't have the resources. They said, look, it is our responsibility to do that, but we don't have the resources to provide those facilities for it to be called, so speaking, a clinic. So I had to do that.
So you're saying this because...
MPs do come in to assist. But you see, many will see and say, what is the MP doing? It is not the core responsibility of the Member of Parliament. It is the responsibility of the state through the Ghana Education Service and the Minister of Education. And that is why I say that the Minister for Education should focus on some of these things.
But he's doing that.
Why? Salaga, this is not the only place. We have had several stories. Look,
but there are many success stories of senior high schools also receiving.
You see, that is the point.
And it's a continuum.
We have borrowed over 400 billion. This government, over 400 billion. 400 billion. Never in our history. Look, the NDCs from independence up till the time we handed over to this incompetent government, we had cumulatively borrowed 120 billion. The NDC borrowed a little over 40 billion. Now, over 400 billion, one wouldn't expect some of these things happen. And that is why I think that he should focus on them. Education is sine qua non to the growth, the success of this country. Because the human resource base of any country can never be achieved without the adequate, efficient facilities provided for the purposes of education. You don't go about touting free SHS, when at the bottom, people still live in such dangerous structures. Because this is a danger to the lives of the kids. This is a danger. And I think that if the authorities are listening, they should stop them from being there. And the state should act quickly so that this structure, you cannot renovate this structure. Based on what we are seeing. Except that if there is a Photoshop, and I don't think that TV3 will do a Photoshop, you can't renovate this structure. The only way they can do that is to demolish it. Get fund projects. You know, Get Fund used to put up classrooms. They don't even have the resources to do that.
Hussein Issa, what do you make of this? At least the intervention that is needed for the Salaga Islamic school.
Roland, Ghana still remains a developing country.
Hussein, today your voice is down.
When the economy is messed up, people find it difficult.
I don't like this.
Roland, this is a country in motion, and then over time, we will be faced with some of these things. But you see, in all of this, there are authorities. The Ministry of Education is doing its bit. The district assemblies across the nation are also providing the investments needed in education within their jurisdictions. And also, we have agencies like the Common Assemblies Fund also coming in with furniture, classrooms, and all of that. Roland, as a nation, our planning process has been questioned a couple of times. Or, I mean, we have situations where communities even start schools without the authority or the notification of the ministry. So then it gets to a point where when resources are being allocated, even information to the ministry to know the state of structures, furniture, books, and all of that becomes a problem. Not too long ago, every morning we spoke about textbooks and the unavailability of textbooks in schools. It was quite surprising to get to know that some of the books had been shipped into the regions and they were being kept in warehouses at the regional capitals without the books being distributed to where they are supposed to go. These are all bottlenecks in the system. And I can tell you that some of these things, sometimes the authorities, I don't know what the chain of command is, but I take it that every school should fall on a specific circuit. And this circuit supervisors should have a district or municipal director who reports to the district assembly or the DC or the MC, and that same structure gets to the regional offices of education, and then ultimately to Ghana Education Service or the Ministry of Education, whichever the channel is. I can tell you that from my experience, some of these things, information do not even get to the appropriate quarters where the resources are to be allocated there. I'm saying this because I've been privy to even a school like a prestigious school like Presec. One time, there was an issue of lack of furniture. Apparently, the ministry or the Ghana Education Service was not even aware of the situation. Once they became aware, what was required to be done was done promptly for the problem to be solved. And it's a question of us running a system that has bottlenecks. Until we take off these bottlenecks, until we take off all this and be able to actually concentrate or focus on the real issues, we'll have every now and again some of these things happening. I'm sure with your reportage, the DCE will take some action, the ministry will take some action, but there may be other issues like that dotted across the country once they come to the attention of the
and development too is a continuum. I mean,
it's a continuum, and the biggest problem is that when communities even start some of these schools without the ministry even being aware or Ghana Education Service being aware, sometimes then they don't have teachers, sometimes they don't have furniture, sometimes their structures are not in the safe category that you expect. I'm saying this because look, even in my constituency right here in Accra, there is a school that was built at a place that used to be a dump site. And
your constituency?
Yeah, my constituency. And because they did not take that into consideration, apparently, I got to know that in such circumstances, the foundation will have to actually go very deep. And because this one did not, anytime there is a little tectonic activities, then the building will crack. Then we have to go and renovate it. So these are just bottlenecks in the system. I am sure that once it's been brought to the notice of the appropriate authorities, the matter should be addressed.
Okay. Now let's move on to our main issue.
Just 30 seconds. Why?
Why are you?
The school,
one I want to ask you.
No, it's important. It's important. When he says that the district assemblies, have you released their monies? If you haven't released district assemblies' monies, how are they going to do some of these things? And to be very honest, for the schools to run, the Ghana Education Service sent teachers to man those schools. You cannot tell me that the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education doesn't know. We have what we call circuit supervisors Whose responsibility is it?
I mentioned
by the way,
I mentioned security supervisor. You don't have to be a teacher to know.
You are not.
You don't have to be a teacher to know that our system has what security supervisors.
So why?
I am saying that the reportage.
Why?
But I thought you finished before I got. Else I'll have my bite after his.
So you want
right?
to banter?
Thank you.
No,
we are not bantering.
I'm just giving an information.
No, so when he finishes, I think that you should also give me an opportunity.
You have security supervisors.
Yeah.
Whose job it is that every week security supervisors visit the schools. This one is not some crack somewhere. This is a death trap. You cannot tell me that the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education are not aware. And I do know how effective the reporting system is. You have district security supervisors, you have regional security, they report to them. This information would have been sent. If you tell me that they are unaware, then that again explains how disastrous this government is. No.
But this at Islamic school, right?
It's under GS. Whether it's Islamic school or a Catholic school,
even another
or it's under GS.
There's another. The reason I asked that is that there's another layer. There's an Islamic education unit.
They fall under the Ghana Education Service,
and
so
they should really have also gotten
Islamic education unit is purposely for teaching Arabic and mainstreaming.
No, even if they do, they all fall under the Ministry of Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education. Look, let me tell you, as I talk to you currently, there is a problem between the Director General of Ghana Education Service and the Minister. And I am telling you this. I am telling you. You want me to say it on air? There is a problem between the Director General of Ghana Education Service and the Minister. Do you know the postings? Do you know the postings of teachers? It's the responsibility of the Ghana Education Service. Do you even know the postings?
Has that got to do with the Salaga?
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm telling you the problem.
That's what you should be asking. And for him to sit on TV, and make an allegation, what sort of problem is that? There is a structure at the ministry.
It has everything.
GS has its.
Now, when you have these two
Ministry of Education has its. You can't sit here and just conjecture and say that
when you have these two big players not engage in their core responsibilities, they are engaged in fighting. How will they solve some of these problems? Who is doing the posting? Is it the Ghana Education Service or the Ministry of Education?
It is the Ghana Education.
Ghana Education Service has a posting.
The postings of the placement of students should not be the responsibility of the Ministry.
Are you saying should not?
It should be the responsibility of the Ghana Education Service. Find out whether the Director General of the Ghana Education Service plays a role in it.
It has been the Ghana Education Service.
Find out who is doing the
school placement. Is it under the ministry?
The first is it the A schools? Who is handling it? Is the minister?
Okay, please.
Is it the responsibility of the minister?
How can you sit on TV and say
I'm saying that it is the minister who is handling the grade A schools. I'm challenging, go and shame me. It is the minister who is handling it, not even the Director General of Ghana Education.
And you
think that is right?
Grade B schools.
He has taken over those responsibilities.
School placement is under Ghana Education Service.
I'm saying that the minister has
taken... School placement, as we all know, who are doing the school placement is under the Ghana Education Service.
Call the ministry to find out. Call the ministry. If you do not know...
No, he has to substantiate the allegations. You cannot just sit here and you cannot sit on TV and make one allegation and get away with it.
I say call the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education.
That is very fair.
I say call the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service. Who is handling it? I am telling you on authority that the placement of the grade A is handled absolutely and exclusively by the minister.
Do you want it to be handed over to you?
That is not his job.
It should be the Ghana Education Service job. You want it to be handed over to you?
It should be the Ghana Education Service.
You want it to be handed over to you?
Why am I working with Ghana Education Service?
So what's your problem?
Can we get on the
hand it over to those who are supposed to
do you want to do the school placement? It will be given to you if that's what you want.
Mutala, please.
So Roland, he cannot sit here and be making allegations like that and you be subject. What sort of allegations are these?
Find out and shame me.
Yes, so let me go and find out and then I'll come and shame you. So
I'll make the allegation, find out and shame me.
So it's okay for me to sit here to make allegations and
these are unsubstantiated
anybody?
Oh, you say
it's unsubstantiated.
This unsubstantiated
allegations. Please.
Who made? I'm saying that.
But you are saying that.
Can we move on to our next topic,
which is not right.
Whose responsibility?
We're taking a break. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Let's take a break.
We'll be right back.
We're taking a break.